Hey, what's up guys, MGH here and welcome back to another episode of my weekly series called Career Mode Updates. We're looking at all the new players this week that have been upgraded or downgraded, and in this episode there are some surprises, so sit back, relax and let's get into the first player. Up first we have Muslera here from Galatasaray. Now I'm just going to say, as usual, I don't include every single player that's been upgraded and downgraded, because otherwise the video would be like hours long. They do sometimes up to 50 players, but I just cover the main ones. One thing I can say is Galatasaray have had a massive downgrade in the game, and a lot of their players have actually gone down, and Muslera is one of them, from 83 to 82. Moving on, we have Gerrard of Liverpool. Of course, he is now obviously in the final season at Liverpool. He's an absolute legend, but we can all agree he's definitely not got it anymore, and he's on his way to the MLS, where I'm sure he'll do a lot better, because obviously the quality of the players out there isn't quite as good as the Premier League. So Gerrard is an absolute legend, but he's finally gone down. He is now only an 81 overall. He's been 82 the whole season, I believe. Might even have been 83 at the beginning, if I remember correctly. But anyway, we'll move on now. Here is Thiago. He's just coming back from injury, and what a start he's made back. Bayern have definitely looked like a better side with him in it, and in the Champions League I thought he was absolutely fantastic when they thrashed Porto, and he seems like he hasn't been injured. He's absolutely fantastic again, and he's gone up by 1 this week, which is definitely a good thing to see after a player comes back from injury after, I think it was a year almost. It's absolutely crazy that he's had that much time out and has come back so strongly. Moving on, oh god, I hate this. Krychowiak, I'm not sure if I've said that right, it might be Krychowiak. But this guy, holy shit. Now, he has gone under the radar, if you ask me, in the FIFA community, especially within the career mode community. This guy has just suddenly popped up, and everyone's going crazy about him. This guy is an absolute monster in midfield. He's been linked with a lot of other clubs, including Arsenal, and I can see why. I mean, he's been upgraded a lot recently, and I've seen some of the highlights on YouTube, because I don't actually watch the La Liga as much as I'd like to, but he is incredible. There was one clip I saw where he chased down Messi and made this perfect tackle, a 10 out of 10 tackle. And he's been upgraded to an 80 now, which is definitely good to see. We then have Subasic from Monaco. He's had a great season, just like Monaco have. They're not doing as well as maybe they could be in League 1 or League 1. I believe they're in 4th, aren't they? So they could be doing a little better based on how much money they've spent over the years. But obviously they've lost talent, haven't they? Rodriguez, Falcao, both have gone. But either way, he's been one of their better players, and he's been upgraded to 79. We then have Fekir. Yep, this is like the 5th or 6th time he's been included in this series. He's now a 79 overall cam. Wow, at the age of 20, he's one of the best cams in the game. Potential of 86 as well, but look at that evolution graph in the bottom right corner. He's just been going up and up and up. And I don't think it's going to stop. I think he could get to maybe 80 or 81 by the end of FIFA 15 if he continues his great form for Lyon. Moving on, we have Chedu, another Galatasaray player that's gone down. But the reason I really wanted to talk about him is, again, look at the evolution graph. He's had a very odd season. He's gone up, he's gone down, he's gone up, he's gone down, and now he's a 78 overall. But still, if you ask me, a very good striker, a very good centre-back in the game. Moving on, we have Abdenor, this guy joining Subasic from Monaco. Again, very solid at the back. And honestly, against Arsenal, he was an absolute rock when we lost to them at home, which was one of the worst, I think, one of our worst performances of the season so far, along with, what's their name? Anderlecht. But Abdenor really impressed me, and I'm guessing he's going to go up even more in the future. He's only 24, so 78 overall for Abdenor with a potential of 80. Well done to him. Moving on, we've got Juan Jesus, a lot of defenders in this episode, but he's gone down. Juan Jesus clearly not doing so well for Inter, who I will admit I have not watched them enough, that's for sure. And he's gone down to 77. But, just saying, he's still one of the better centre-backs in the game, and a potential of 83 is still rather good. Moving on, we've got Franco, another centre-back. Now, I've got to include him because I've talked about him in the past in this series, being one of my favourite underrated or underused centre-backs in the game. This guy is rapid, he's so quick. Although, what I will say is he has actually been downgraded quite a lot recently, and that includes his pace. His movement has gone down, and instead of being what I think he was a 79 literally just 3 weeks ago, he's now a 77 overall, which is crazy. Now, moving on to the surprise of the episode, we have Pablo Aimar. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, you're probably too young or you just live under a rock. But Aimar used to be one of the best players in the world. He was incredible. I believe Kaká believes he was the best player in the world in his prime. I remember hearing it in an interview. But Aimar has come back. He's playing for River Plate. And he's gone up. He's now a 77 overall. But unfortunately, he's a little bit unusable in career mode because of his stamina. He has 44 stamina. So you can use him for a couple of games and then he just dies. But Aimar, absolute legend, playing still at the top level, which is fantastic to see. Next, we've got Austin, one of the best players in the Premier League this season for England as well. Wow, he's played really well for QPR and single-handedly scored, I think, at least over half their goals, which is just crazy. And he's gone up to 77, and it won't be the last of him we'll see in this series, I'm sure. I reckon by FIFA 16, we could be looking at a 78, maybe even a 79 rated striker with Austin. Up next, we have Salah, who's, of course, gone out on loan from Chelsea to Fiorentina. And it seems like they did the wrong thing there. Cuadrado's barely had an impact at Chelsea, if you ask me anyway. Whereas Salah has gone the other way and had a huge impact at Fiorentina. And really good to see that he's kind of... You know, before he signed for Chelsea, everyone was ranting and raving about this guy. It looks like he is that player once again, which is great to see. Scoring goals, he's getting assists, and deserves his upgrade of 1 to 77. The last two players now, we've got Jones also in the MLS. He's gone down by 2. He's the biggest downgrade of the week. Well, 32 years old at the moment. Clearly, you know, he's been his prime. He's starting to go down now. But 32 years old, you'd expect him not to be going down by 2 in a week. But unfortunately, clearly not doing too well this season in the MLS. And he's now only a 76 overall. And the last player is Oliver Torres, sorry. Now, this guy, I really liked watching him, especially in the first game against Bayern in the Champions League, where they actually beat them. He's on loan from Atletico Madrid. What were they thinking? I have no idea. So there's no doubt in my mind he will go back to Atletico Madrid this summer and he'll be a vital part of their squad over the next few seasons. But he's gone up to 76. His potential's also gone up to 87. And I really, really like Oliver Torres in the game. He's got a stamina upgrade, which is nice to see. He's now got 69 stamina, which makes him way more usable than before. And just generally a big upgrade for this guy. So that's it, guys. Don't forget to check out this website that I'm using. It's called ultrafifa.com. And the reason I say that is because I obviously haven't touched on every single player. You can go over there and have a look at all the upgraded and downgraded players yourself. Thank you so much for watching this series. If you could drop a like, I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you next week for another Career Mode Updates video.